Chapter 57. Don't need a title. Adrian's brow furrowed slightly. Mrs. Mann, Ava really was injured. She hasn't fully recovered yet. Right now, she needs to keep her mind and body calm. I suggest you avoid upsetting her for the time being. Monica said, I'm upsetting her? Before Monica could finish, Adrian had already turned and left. Watching Adrian get into his car, Monica felt her chest tighten with frustration. The Pierce family's status was far above theirs. Even with Adrian acting this way, there was nothing they could do about it. She turned and walked back into the villa. When she reached the living room, a servant told her Ava had gone upstairs. Monica went straight up to the second floor, but the bedroom door was locked from the inside. She knocked for several minutes. Her daughter never opened the door. What could she possibly be injured from? Monica muttered under her breath before turning to leave. As she spoke, a servant who had just finished organizing Grace's walk-in closet happened to be walking past. Ma'am, are you talking about Miss Ava? Monica stopped in her tracks. Who else would I be talking about? Gone for over 2 weeks without coming home, and now she comes back lying about being injured. There was a note of displeasure in her tone. For those 2 weeks, she hadn't answered her phone or sent a single text, and now she came back giving her attitude. She didn't know who was the mother and who was the daughter anymore. Ma'am, Miss Ava isn't lying. The servant's voice rose slightly. She really was injured abroad. It even made the news. Didn't you see it? Miss Ava had been injured saving someone, no less. The lady was being far too biased. A while back, the internet had been flooded with news about Miss Ava saving that child. If the lady had paid even the slightest attention to Miss Ava, she would have seen it. She was really injured? Monica was skeptical. The servant suggested she check online. Monica pulled out her phone and opened the search bar. The very first result was a video with millions of shares. Famous ballet dancer Rika falls from stage-saving 5-year-old girl. Rika? Monica's mind filled with confusion. She clicked on the video. The moment it started playing, she saw Ava's face. Monica's eyes went wide. In the video, Ava pushed the little girl out of the way, but the lighting rig came crashing straight down. She fell off the stage. Her white ballet costume was instantly stained bright red with blood. Monica's body swayed unsteadily as she took a step back. She pressed against the wall to steady herself. Mom, I'm here. For some reason, Monica's mind suddenly flashed back to the department store fire 19 years ago. That year, her daughter had only just turned 5. She'd been holding Grace at the time. Grace had already passed out, so she could only get her out first. Later, outside, she'd run into her brother who worked as a firefighter. Grace's condition had her so worried that she'd begged her brother to save her daughter, then driven Grace to the hospital herself. That fire had left her daughter in a coma in the hospital for nearly half a month. When she woke up, her daughter's personality had completely changed. She was no longer the obedient, sensible, thoughtful daughter she'd been before. She hadn't expected that her daughter had been so seriously injured and hadn't called even once, hadn't said a word even after coming home. It must be Mrs. Quinn. Her own daughter was closer to a servant than to her. If she'd known it would turn out this way, she never should have let Mrs. Quinn raise the child. Small children are so easily influenced by bad ideas. Monica had completely forgotten that Ava had called home that day and mentioned she'd been injured. But at the time, Monica had been preoccupied with her stepdaughter's engagement and hadn't paid attention to anything else. As night fell, Ava was woken by the sound of her phone ringing. "Who is it? What do you want?" Half her face was buried in the soft pillow, her slender, pale hand loosely gripping the phone against her ear. Her tone was full of impatience, like a firecracker about to be lit. "Ava, are you feeling any better?" Ian's cautious voice came through the phone. Ava only spoke to him in this tone under one circumstance, when he'd woken her up. She had a terrible temper when woken and could be quite unpleasant. "I'm fine." "Ava, I didn't mean not to come see you. It was Adrian. He took you away." When he said Adrian's name, Ian nearly ground his back teeth to dust. He shouldn't have left the hospital. When he went back the next day to see Ava, all he got was news that she'd left. Adrian was really shameless, leaving his girlfriend back home while hiding Ava away. Ava made a neutral sound of acknowledgement. "Ian, we've already broken up. It's perfectly normal that you didn't come see me. You don't need to explain any of this to me. I told you I'm not getting back together with you." Ian's expression gradually darkened. "Ava, I don't need a title. I just want to stay by your side. Please don't reject me, okay?" This wasn't the first time Ava had heard words like these. When she was dating Adrian, there were always guys coming up to her saying they didn't need a relationship title. But hearing these words from Ian's mouth felt different somehow. She still remembered the first time she met Ian. He'd been wearing a black windbreaker. That handsome, rebellious face wore an expression of unrivaled arrogance. At the time, someone had been confessing to him. He'd merely looked the girl up and down with contempt. "Don't you have a mirror at home? With a face like that, you had the nerve to confess to me." His tone had been supremely haughty. She wasn't someone who liked to meddle in others' business. But even abroad, she hadn't forgotten to maintain her image as a beautiful person with a kind heart. So she'd walked up like a novel's female lead who fears no authority and given Ian a thorough scolding. Who knew Ian would actually enjoy being scolded by her and end up falling for her on the spot? He then launched a year-long campaign of relentless pursuit. At the time, she'd just broken up with her ex, who'd felt that all her attention was on her studies and dancing, that she couldn't spare much time for him. The ex had probably just been acting spoiled at the time. They'd already been together for a year. Her novelty had worn off. She'd simply used it as an excuse to break up. Before Ian, all the men she'd dated had been older than her. If men older than her were that clingy, imagine how much worse someone younger would be. So Ian had never been within Ava's consideration. But he was persistent enough and shameless enough. "Ian, I'm telling you one more time. Don't waste your energy on me. I have no interest in keeping a boy toy on the side. But I'd be really good, Ava." Ian sounded a bit aggrieved. "Have my skills gotten worse? I can improve, Ava. Don't reject me so quickly." A row of black lines appeared on Ava's forehead. "Say one more word and I'm blocking you." She hung up the phone and tossed it aside. Ian's thought processes were always bizarrely different from normal people. She grabbed a thin shawl and headed downstairs. Just as she reached the top of the stairs, she heard Monica's voice choked with tears.